As we approach the first Republican debate here on Fox News, the 2024 election season, it's heating up. President Biden and former President Trump could not be any closer in the latest 2024 New York Times Siena poll. The two are tied with 43% each. This comes despite President Trump's third indictment. Trump is dominating in the GOP primary polls, majority support, most show, while Biden continues to struggle winning over voters within his own party. Fellow Democrats are even encouraging competition.
So this is not about him. This is about listening to people. And I'm afraid in this bubble here in Washington, people get real tone deaf real fast, and we should be listening. That's what this is about. My call is to those who are well-positioned, well-prepared, of good character and competency. They know who they are, to jump in, because Democrats and the country need competition. So we need to meet the moment. The moment is now. That is what the country is asking.
So President Biden has a pretty significant event on the campaign trail. And to put it into context, I want to flash back to his love about talking about the weather. Listen to this absurdity from Congressman Goldman.
But the witness was unequivocal and stated very clearly that they never discussed any business on that phone conversations. There were niceties, and there was a hello, and we talked about the weather or whatever it was, but it was never any business.
20 phone calls about the weather, Emily. Well, Biden's got his dream tonight. POTUS sits down with the Weather Channel to discuss our changing planet. Look at that.
God, if it wasn't such a slap in the face to all of us, it would be hilarious. But that's what this commander-in-chief is. He's just a joke. So he's sitting down with the Weather Channel, and he says it's to address the threat posed by extreme weather and to promote resilience, to meet voters where they are. You know where voters are in Arizona? They're dealing with the fact that at least 50 migrants are kept in those pens in extreme heat of up to 115 degrees because the cartels like to drop them off in the desert. And our Border Patrol has to play rescue service and also law enforcement. What about the fact that the week Title 42 ended, we had day upon day of record-breaking surges? Just this week in Arizona, U.S. Border Patrol, record-breaking 1,000-person increase from the previous week, 10,000 people crossing the border illegally in this week alone, most of them being, of course, adult men, not to mention almost 100 grand worth of fentanyl, 6 pounds of meth, 3 firearms, and more than 400 illegal migrants had to be rescued. Why don't you meet voters where they are there, President Biden?
Yes, another big important development on the campaign trail, Molly. I saw this in Politico Playbook this morning, staffing up. Rob Flaherty's coming on board the Biden re-election campaign as deputy campaign manager. Pretty important position, number 2 on the campaign. Says 2 things to me. Number 1, the importance of digital influencers. They're going to use digital influencers in a big way. Number 2, Rob Flaherty. Do you remember his name? It surfaced in that Texas lawsuit. It was Missouri v. Biden. Flaherty emailed Facebook many times in his former role in the White House. Here's some of his emails. Cannot stress the degree to which this needs to be resolved immediately. Please remove this account immediately. You are hiding the ball. This is to Facebook. I've been asking you guys pretty directly for a clear accounting of the biggest issues you are seeing on your platform when it comes to vaccine hesitancy. My personal favorite, he sends, are you guys effing serious? I want an answer. This is the guy who was censoring people.
I think it really speaks to the importance for Democrats of the censorship industrial complex. The fact is, Democrats would not win elections in the manner that they do without the amazing help, not just of corporate media, which shades every story in a direction that's advantageous to Democrats, but through this massive censorship regime that elevates those stories from left-wing outlets, that suppresses real news and facts and information coming from non-favored media outlets. And Rob Flaherty's role here was very key. It will continue to be key because Democrats need censorship in order to win elections.
Yeah, James, we all remember the Hunter Biden laptop that was suppressed. I hope they're not going to go down that same road this time.
It's really amazing. Molly ran a nice op-ed from Rand Paul the other day because looking at how do you punish this? We see the government abusing our First Amendment rights with the censorship regime, both before and after President Biden was elected, and there seems to be no remedy. And there has to be. I mean, it's whether it's the COVID madness or FBI, DOJ, there has to be a punishment when these federal agencies continue intervening in our elections.
Dig in.
The punishment is from the courts, you know, putting a stay in, saying you're not allowed to interfere in, well, the First Amendment, because this is a constitutional violation with Flaherty. But what to watch when the media starts covering the bribery, corruption, the Biden family scandal, and the clear Department of Justice interference. That's the sign that the Democrat Party has moved on from Joe Biden when they realize that he will not be a self-caring adult at the end of a second term at the age of 86.
Yeah, but remember, there's no Biden corruption, guys. There's all talk about the weather. It's sunny out.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.